Hi everyone, Dr. Nicole LaPera, the Holistic Psychologist here. As always, thank you to each and every one of you for subscribing. So today's video is incredibly important. It's on such an impactful practice, which is how to breathe through a trigger. So first and foremost, what's a trigger? A trigger is an emotional activation. Often, it's the result of unmet needs, emotional wounds, past events, some of them traumatic, that we carry with us. And then we use those events, those experiences, to assign a meaning to things that are happening in our current environment. What we feel internally then is a really big feeling. It's really intense. For some of us, it's overwhelming. And then typically what we do is we react emotionally from that place. In a really simple way, it typically goes one of two paths. The first path, I kick and scream, I do something outward. I write that nasty email back, I scream, fuck you, whatever. I do something out. Or, this is really simplified, of course, I go inward. I detach, I numb, I dissociate. Those two coping mechanisms, for a lot of us, are old. They were formed at a time where we didn't have any other choices with how to navigate the situation. So for instance, and they're the result of very real accumulation of feelings. So I'm going to use an example. So say you're someone who is a critical mother, and now you've heard the criticism of this mother for the entirety of your life so far. So it's any given Sunday and you're over at mom's and mom makes a critical remark. Inside, you want to scream and yell and blow her brains out. I mean, you're feeling something really big, right? Objectively, it was maybe a one-sentence remark. Why is what you're feeling inside so big? Like I was saying earlier, it's because it's now become the accumulation of every critical thing that mom said. Maybe you're taking it to mean that mom doesn't respect you or value you or think you're lovable, right? All of these assessments are now being made, which is contributing to why you feel so big emotionally inside. Likely what's happened for a lot of us then is we react, like I said, in one of those ways. You either scream and yell at mom and now the two of you are in a knockdown, blowout argument, or if you're someone like myself, maybe you distance or dissociate or you kind of like check out a bit to navigate that really painful situation. And I describe that because the emotions you're having are real and they're valid and they've, for a lot of you, been carried across your lifetime so far. So we have to honor those. And for a lot of us, that means that our nervous system is being activated, which is why we feel it in our bodies, feel it energetically. Some of us feel our heart rate goes up. We're actually having a physical or physiological experience, which brings me to the power of the breath in these moments. So using our breath can be an incredibly helpful tool to bring our body back into physiological balance, to regulate our nervous system, to help calm the very real activations that are happening in our body. Those of you who have been following me for a while know I'm a big fan of a belly breath. As simple as hand on belly, learning how to breathe really deep, inflating my belly and all the way out. It sounds simple, but as you begin to practice, it might feel weird. It felt very weird for me at first. I wasn't used to breathing out of my belly. I was used to being a very shallow chest-based breather, as many of you will be. Which brings me to the suggestion of practicing. Practice all of the time. Don't just wait for when you're feeling triggered to, oh, right, that belly breath. Let me try to do this now. Two things are going to happen. You're either not going to remember, you're not going to be good enough at it to gain the value of it, which means make a small daily promise somewhere in your day, anywhere in your day, and just practice 5 deep belly breaths. So that when you're in that activating situation, here's where you use it. And here's why I talk about the belly breath in particular. There's a million different types of breath works, but I like this one because when mom's saying her comment and I'm having all the feels inside, if I just take 1, 2, 3 breaths in that moment, or if I go to the bathroom and take them in the bathroom, wherever, the living room, taking a walk, if I use my breathing, I can help calm my body's response, which gives me then the opportunity. If I can break the pattern of thing happens and I react right away, and if in that space, thing happens, I'm feeling, if I can learn how to regulate my body, create that space, bring my emotional system down, what I now will have the opportunity to do is respond in a new way. So instead of screaming and causing World War VII, or instead of detaching and dissociating, I might choose to do something new in that moment. And then the value of that is when I leave that, I get to feel empowered. When I leave that context or that exchange with mom, I don't have to feel shameful and bad about that older reaction, because I know a lot of us do. If I kick and scream, or if I detach and dissociate, I'm left feeling bad after the fact. I'm left feeling shameful. Why did I behave like that? So the more we can create that space and use our breath to give our body the balance, the more we're going to have the opportunity in that space to say or do or navigate that in a better, healthier way for all of us. I can leave that situation feeling empowered, and I can feel better about myself overall in time. Because as you know, I have to end on the reality that this doesn't happen overnight. A lot of the spaces that we're feeling triggered are, like I said, being carried, emotions, wounds, really hurt parts of ourself that are consistently being activated. But if over time I learn how to use my breath to harness that power, I can begin to create empowered choices, even in the most uncomfortable emotional environments. So I hope each and every one of you found this video helpful. If you have not yet subscribed and you like what you heard, please hit subscribe at the end. Thank you so much.